Welcome back to another episode of Past, Present, Future over here on the VSN Network. Thank you. Brought to you by the VSN Network, part of the VSN Network. Thank you to everyone involved. I'm here with all my co-hosts. As you guys know, I've got Ariel, host of Retro Gold School. Got Nick's Anonymous, LJ and Stevie down there. Check out their show, Nick's Anonymous, that drops on Mondays. And of course, the one and only Trippy OG of Nick and 30 and one of the co-founders of the VSN Network. And I'm Smitty. I'm part of this show. I'm part of VSN Network. We've got something else coming soon, but we're going to jump right into this, talk about the Knicks and how things are looking at the moment. So I'm going to start with a question to you guys. We're going to go into the past first, as normal. I'm going to pose this one to Trip to start out in regards to Julius Randle and how his game's changed. So it's looking a little bit different. We don't see no more mid-range, really. We don't see much else. It's definitely a change from what we saw 2 years ago. What do you think about that, Trip?
Well, in terms of, hold on, I hear the train going. You know how New York City be, these trains is mad disrespectful. But honestly, in terms of Julius Randle, and you're a funny guy, I knew he would give me the Julius Randle question. Because he knows I'm going to be honest. But in terms of Julius Randle, what happened to this whole, Kobe Bryant is my favorite player. I idolize Kobe Bryant. So that year he passed, you wanted to wear his shoes, you wanted to mimic his game. It got you to where it needed you to be. And then you just stopped doing that. You want to decide to stay with this three-point shot that is broken, bro. We almost 10 games in. You almost are like LeBron out here, damn near shooting 20% from three. Just stop. You need to go back inside. It's like, bro, when you used to do that fake little stop, come off the little corner, shuffle, pump fake, get your little side step, little joint from the baseline. You know what I'm saying? When you used to do your fake little dream shake shuffle, going into, you know his transition, his regular get into the little free throw line paint area, probably 10 feet into the basket, his little pump fake, fake little shot that go to the foul line, little joint he always do. I hate that shit. I don't know why he does that, but I hate it. I hate that shot with a passion, but it goes in. He needs to go back and revert to that. I don't know why he doesn't. Hopefully he does. But hey, I mean, he's still balling. He's still doing what he has to do. It's just, I don't know, bro. He's a weird guy, bro. Like, he's weird, man. It's like I can't. It's like, bro, I want to bash him because it's like you're still blowing mine because you're doing this dumb shit when you giving me glimpses of better than that. So it's like, why you even revert back to that in certain situations? Like, I feel like when it comes to pressure, Randle sucks at that, bro. Like, as soon as it's crunch time, he sucks. But shout outs to him, though, because he had clutch free throws last night. You feel me? So it's like, I'm just gonna leave it there. He's one of those moments, man. Like, get it together, Randle.
All right, I'm gonna move this on next. So I'll keep on just a little bit of it. So I think I always come back to, right? I don't know if you remember. So obviously we know the season Randle had 2 years ago, most improved. We went to the playoffs first time since, what was it, 2014, something like that. Yeah. Do you remember the play? This one it lives in my head. It was an unreal play where Julius Randle's like sort of in the mid-range. He's about 2-3 steps inside the in the arc, and Tom Tibbs, it was in front of our bench, or where the coach is standing. Tibbs is behind him, and he says, "Take your time, take your time." And there was this massive trust between them, and Julius Randle sizes up his opponent and then laces the mid-range. We don't see that no more. We do not see none of that. So I'm gonna take this next one to either of you guys, LJ or Stevie, and obviously we see a lot less mid-ranges. What do you think's changed besides obviously the game plan? What do you think's changed in Julius? Do you think it's to do with a mental breakdown after obviously what we saw last year with the fans? Give us your take on why you think that we're seeing such a different Randle. Yes, he's getting numbers in other spots, and as Tripp said, he hit some big free throws last night, but his efficiency is just taking a nosedive. And this is a guy who we see putting in work in the offseason. So what do you guys think?
I'm gonna share some numbers with you guys that just might surprise you guys.
Okay.
Me personally, I like Julius Randle. I was, and that's big coming from me because there was a point in Nick's anonymous career that we just didn't. We wanted Randall gone. Like I could quote. I don't know if I could quote myself, but there's somewhere in there where I was like, "Yo, Randall, you gotta go. You the first one to go." But let me share something real quick. So Trippy was right about the 3-point percentage. Randall is shooting 20% from three. He's also shooting 4 threes per game on average. So he's not taking as many threes as people think. I think 4 is still too many in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think he needs to drop it down to like 3 maybe. But yes, the 20% is bad. He is shooting 42 of 80 from the 2-point line. So that's 52%. And he's shooting more. If you look at it, he's shooting 80 from the field and 34 from three. So he is averaging more points in the paint. You know, so he is shooting more mid ranges than a lot of people see. It just may not, look it because it's so sloppy, but I think it's sloppy as a team. I don't think it's just him. Because if you look at these numbers, that's pretty efficient. He's 52% from the field. That means every time he's in the paint, he's gonna make it.
Bro, I don't want to hear it's the team, bro.
Control
yourself.
It's not
you control yourself, okay, buddy? You control yourself. And
look at it.
Get that shit under control. This is year number 8, buddy.
Because he has his issues, but he's part of the problem. But I don't think he's the problem. I don't think. I agree. I don't think.
No, he's not the problem.
No. This question wasn't about the problem. It's just something that I noticed, and I know, and I like those numbers. Obviously, the mid ranges are there. And as you said, it's probably shooting more than people notice. My biggest thing, sorry, I should have worded was it's not the same quality of looks in the mid range. It's not the same moves. Okay. You remember that baseline jumper that he always had in that most improved. Where's that gone? I don't know if I've
the quick
seen
step, right? You're talking about like the pump fake quick step right there.
Yeah. So he's parallel with baseline. He's about 3-4 steps, maybe 5 steps off the baseline. So he's side on with the hoop. He's in the mid range, maybe 17, 18 feet away from the basket. He gives that jab step up in, maybe a pump fake up into it. And it was cash. It was money that year. That's a shot that he can take and make. We don't see it. That shot's gone.
I could definitely agree on that. There's times where Randall just has to honestly just rely on all his instinct and just turn around into a double team and shoot it. And like it goes in, but that's not the look we're looking for.
That's right. That's what I'm saying is, sorry, I should have said. So the numbers are still there, but the quality of mid ranges. So he's not making as many mid ranges as we would have saw, and I feel like he's not taking the quality looks. He's probably taken that into the game plan that is now high volume 3. So I mean, that's where I stand on it. That's what I'm sort of getting at. It ain't what we saw 2 years ago, and I understand there was a change because of double teaming after that playoff series, but he's open now, man. Ain't no one trying to get to him in the mid range. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate those numbers though. That's a good insight. Ariel, you got anything to say on this? I know you're a bit wound up. Maybe you could tap in on this. What you've seen from Julius Randle.
I'm wound up, but one thing I would agree with is that he's not the only problem. There's so many problems with this team.
Absolutely.
He's just a part of it. I just wish that he would. To me, I wish he would come out the way he began the season, where he was more efficient. He was taking shots within rhythm. He wasn't forcing the issues. He wasn't screaming for the ball, trying to be the point forward, as much as he's doing now. And it's kind of like he's reverting back to those old ways that he did the last 2 years. So I kind of want him to get away from that, because there's one or two things that was either going to make this team better, or was going to put us in a position that he plays so well that if we don't see him as a moving forward as a long-term plan, we can move him and get something out of him.
For sure.
I'm playing the antagonist today.
Trippy got a love-hate relationship with Red.
No, not even that. I'm actually about to disagree with Ariel for once, and it was crazy. Like I thought he was gonna hit me with the sauce, and he hit me with the. It reminds me of that iHeart take when he tried to feed us that bullshit. Nah. I mean, he's iHeart, bro. He had a bag in that game, bro. He had a bag in that game, bro. We're not gonna do that. But yo, bro, when it comes to it, I feel like Randall actually he's not doing anything bad. It's not like he's regressed. He's played well in the first couple of games until a team finally came out and exposed what this team really is. It's actually the same exact team from last year, only 2 upgrades, point guard and a backup center. That's it. It's the same exact team, the same setup. It's just that now Randall's at a position where he's playing well, but the pieces together ain't meshing. So when it's crunch time, like I said before, he's not good at pressure. So he's reverting back. But when they moving and grooving, he sticks to that, and he tries his, I give him credit where it's due. He tries his best to stick that way this year from the 8 games going to this 9th game tonight. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's reverting back like that. I just think that
everybody has a point, man. Everybody has a point, because by the numbers, he's not doing too bad. But at the same time, I see what y'all talking about, because he does still fold under pressure, especially like when the game's on the line on crunch time.
Or when it's not going his way.
That's a fact. I won't deny that.
He
but
came
by the
to
numbers,
like 2
he's not
turnovers
doing
that
too
last few
bad.
minutes.
He's actually a little more efficient than he usually is. He's turning the ball over a little less. A little less. And by a little less, I mean 1 bad game and he's back to his average Julius Randle. So I'm gonna hold off on giving him credit for that. But I see what everybody's seeing, in all honesty. So I kind of like, I guess I'm 50-50, or in this case, 33. 3 of y'all here.
I like that. I like those math.
Fuck up.
I know. I
agree with everybody to a percentage.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I didn't pose this question because I think Julius Randle's the whole problem. Obviously, it's a thing, but it's meant to be our guy, right? I mean, I, for one, I'm a fan. I want to see him do well. But as I've said before, and I said in an episode of Fan to Fan with Trippy the other day, like, and as you just sort of mentioned, he crumbles as soon as things aren't going his way. I don't think I've seen someone like that in some time. It's reminiscent of a LeBron, almost how much he complains to the refs, except he ain't LeBron. He never will be, and he's not even close to it. So, you know, he doesn't have that talent to fall back on, and he can't just get his head back into the game. I feel like the minute things go wrong, I'm sitting there on the couch or wherever I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, here we go, bad call. He's got that stink face on. That's it. We lost Julius for the rest of this game, or at least the rest of this quarter or whatever we're in. So that's what I think his biggest issue is, his own is battling with his own mindset in a game when things aren't going his way. So yeah, I think there's a breakdown there in his mental strength. But anyway, appreciate all those takes. So we're going to move on to the next question. Still talking about the past, we're going to touch on the game that was yesterday. So that was our game against Philadelphia. Philadelphia had obviously no Embiid, no Harden, and Maxey running the show.
Maxey versus the world.
Yeah. Maxey, as we know, is an unreal player. He's progressed extremely well over there in Philadelphia, and he really got his chance yesterday. And he pushed us. It was an ugly win. I mean, you know, win's a win, as they say, but it was an ugly win. So first off, I'm going to go straight to Ariel with this one, because I know he has a lot of emotions about this game. Tell us what you disliked the most about yesterday's game. What was your biggest concern and gripe with yesterday's game, and then tell us what you liked the most. So what you thought was a defining factor in getting us over the line.
I think, the main thing that struck out to me in this game was in that first half, you could see they're doing some of the same old routines of them not closing out on the 3-point line. And they kind of like somewhat do, if you look at their defensive scheme, I think it's so trash. They'll do this like fake zone defense. And then where it's like you see where they submerge, at some point they all start submerging in the paint. And then all they got to do is break down the defense, drive, kick it out. And there you go, open corner 3, open 3 at the top of the key. And it's the same mistakes that keep just annoying the hell out of me. And I wish that we could break that, where we don't need no zone defense. I mean, any team that has any type of resemblance of an offense can break that. It's so easy, because we're the only ones for some reason. When we get into the zone, we are like, we don't know what the hell to do, which is crazy. I just didn't like overall the flow that first half. It was too inconsistent. You had little spurts where they go on a little run, they play good, but then they let them right back in it. They tie the game because why? We give up so many open threes, and that 3-pointer is the caveat to us blowing leads a lot of time, because it gives the teams back rhythm where they feel like they can get back in this game. So I like what the bench unit came out. They were playing good that first half. But that second half, man, when he left those start, that third quarter, and it always never fails, man, that third quarter of doom. I call it, where we always hit that third quarter where we end up either the game ends up getting way out of reach. We're either blowing leads or we're getting blown out. It's one or the other, you know? And it's something that I wish, like, I don't know what's being said at halftime. I don't know if he's not getting through to them or saying the wrong things to them. I don't know what it is, but something needs to change because it seems like when they come out of that locker room, they're not the same team. You know, if you notice that the last few games, they haven't been the
last
same.
few years.
Last few years, yeah, the curse of the third quarter.
How about last decade?
There's two things you could count on: them choking in the third quarter, and some bum ass player, average NBA player, come in and having a career night at the Garden.
Or a
We've been
rookie.
dealing with that for too long.
Yeah.
So my positives in this game obviously was that fourth quarter was that Tibbs actually did what all of us on Twitter were bitching for him to do, which was leave these guys out there and let them play through their mistakes. And I can't mention Obi. When Obi hit that corner three, I was ecstatic, man, because I was like,
cold.
This is what I want.
That was cold.
Hitting big shots, you know, and then he was actually hustling for rebounds, doing things that I've been complaining about that I wanted him to do better. And he just was overall in the flow of the game. You know, he didn't knock down a lot, but he hit key ones that we needed. He lit a couple of key baskets that actually pushed us over the hump. And I can't say so much about Cam Reddish, man. It seems like that dude just lifts his finger, man, and he gets a steal. He gets in the passing lane, bro, because his arms are so long.
String bean.
And, just seeing Cam, Obi, and that starting lineup, man, that shit brought me to tears, man, because I would never picture a day where I would see Julius Randle and Obi sharing the same court in crunch time. I'm like, I thought because I was high, I said, wait, am I seeing what I'm seeing? I looked at my girl and I was like, yo, he got these guys out here in crunch time? I said, yo, Tibbs is doing something. I don't know, man. Maybe he clapped some cheeks. I don't know, bro. But he changed his mind, bro. And could what we actually be saying, man, because we talk a lot of shit that, you know, some of these guys don't pay attention to what we say on social media. Bro, they do. Trust me, they do. They pay attention to what we saying on Twitter.
For sure.
Man, you got the W, man. I don't like the way it ended. It was too hard for my liking because I think it shouldn't even got to that point. But listen, the winners are winning. I'll take it at that point.
Yeah, by that point, it was I think all the emotions were spent for all of us. Group chats, Twitter was blowing up. It was one of those games, man, where you get the win, but it was at the end. I felt like it was sort of just like, oh, you know, doesn't even really feel like a win. It was just so scraped together.
Well, it's very positive that they channeled the willpower that they had left to actually finish the game.
Oh, yeah.
I could applaud. You know what I mean? Like any team would have given up at some point. You know what I mean? So I got to give them, you know, their credit for sticking in. I just hate the fact that we had to go through that.
yeah,
that
for
concerns
sure.
me, man.
Why we had to make it so hard?
Me, to be honest.
For sure. So
it really does.
I'll pose the same question to you guys. You can go in whatever order you want, LJ and Stevie. So what was your defining factors for why we were in the hole and what you didn't like, and what do you think got us over that line in the end? It could be a player, could be a play per se that was a bit of a momentum shifter for me. It was Cam getting that steal, and then getting it to Barrett. Oh, sorry, yeah, and then Barrett back to Cam, and then across. So go ahead with whatever you guys thought was the defining factors. Take the floor.
Ain't no whack shit either, y'all. I'm on your neck. Don't say no whack shit. Don't say no whack shit.
In all honesty, from what I saw, what changed the momentum was that lineup change. The OB, Randall, Cam, the lineup, basically. Brunson and Barrett. I'm sorry. Kind of got caught up there. Because that was a good lineup. And I say that to say this. We started Knicks Anonymous around the time we drafted Obi, correct? That season? And at one point or another, and I maybe said it a few times, I said putting Randall and Obi on the floor at the same time would be a disaster and would not work. And lo and behold, here it happened. They proved me wrong. This actually looked like a pretty fluid lineup. The ball movement was cool. They didn't take any bad shots. That whole run, that little, what was it, 14-15-0 run in the fourth? That changed the whole game right there. But what I disliked is, again, that's what it took to win. because despite the fact how good Tyrese Maxey is, big shout out to him, by the way, because he killed yesterday, man. Like that dude is he's better than what I thought he was, honestly speaking. Philly without Embiid and Harden and him as the star, I think we're a better team than them. We should have beat them by way more. There should not have been a comeback. There should not have been a 15-0 run in the fourth that, had to change the momentum. We should have had that game. And that concerns me because that kind of shows that from what I see, all right, I don't know if this is a controversial statement, but I'm going to come out and say it. From what I see so far, we have a bunch of B players. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying RJ still can't develop to an A player, but at this point, it's 50-50. From what I see, we need an A player. Brunson's the answer at the point from what I see. We have to decide eventually between Randall and Obi. That decision is going to come into play more so next season when their contracts are up. So I guess we'll wait till then to discuss that. But, from what I see, yeah, we need help. we're not bad, but we're
still a ways off. We're still a ways off.
Yeah, like I honestly, what I didn't like the most, honestly, I really didn't like. I haven't really been liking our offense in general. I'm gonna be real. It doesn't feel like anything nothing feels fluent. Everything feels like the toughest basket in the world for us. I've seen guys go up the court, little penetration kick out, corner three against us, like something that we can do. You know what I mean? Like there's times where Maxey would just go down the court, one move, mid-range, jump shot. I posted on Twitter the Spider-Man meme. I was like, Quickly and Maxey guarding each other. Quickly, he needs to take more of those mid-range shots that Maxey does. He did do it last year, but it seems like everybody's reverting back to their old habits. You know what I mean? Randall's shooting a lot more threes. Quickly is, he seems a little bit more, he seems erratic a little bit. Like he seems a little out of control. He has to take control of the offense more, in my opinion. That spurt when they kept turning over the ball back and forth, Quickly was on the floor for that. And you can't really blame anybody except the point guard, because as the point guard, you're supposed to be the guy to keep control of the game and demand the ball, and give everybody time to set. So there wasn't really any set when he was in the game. In general, I mean, because honestly, our defense is what, 8th in efficiency? Our defense is 8th in efficiency. So our offense is 22 out of 30 teams. So our offense is just not running the way it's supposed to. RJ struggling. Randall, like we said, he's trying to force too many things. I feel like with Randall's season is that the offense is failing, so he needs to feel like he needs to take control again. And we need to stop that immediately. We need to make sure we need to keep Randall secure. You know what I mean? Like it seems like he gets anxiety attacks or something. Like he panics and he's like, this is my team now. Like I got to do it. But Brunson's got to keep control of him. And when everything's in control, it works. You know what I mean? When Brunson and Randall are working the pick and roll, that's the most beautiful thing on the planet. It's super effective. So, that's the only, and free throws. I did not like the missed free throws. Again, we're struggling from the line.
Okay, so yesterday,
25th in free throws, if I'm not mistaken, as far as percentage goes.
Yeah, it sounds about right to me from memory. So obviously you're saying yesterday you didn't like the offense and you haven't liked it all season. You felt like that was a defining reason why we're behind. Just before we move on to Trip, I'll get you to tell me what you thought got us over the line as well. What do you think? Was there a moment? Was it the lineup that we ran with, like a couple others have said? Give us your sort of perception and your take on that. Was there a moment that you thought, this is what, was it the cam steal? Was it whatever, that really, put the team, pumped them up and got them over the line?
Is this me answering this?
No,
question?
just LJ.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Trippy. I'm sorry.
No, so before I move on to him, because you gave us what you didn't like, you can give us what you like.
Okay. One thing I did like was I think what everybody liked was the last squad in the game. The fact that it was Brunson, Cam, RJ, and Randall, and
Obi.
I missed somebody. Obi. I really liked the way they played. They kept it together. They felt what their energy is. It was that urgency they've been missing. You know what I mean? You could feel it. It just felt like they wanted to compete and play. and they really wanted it to. They really wanted it. Brunson was coming back. He was doing what Brunson was doing. He got a nice nice clutch and one. He was causing havoc inside. And if he could do that more often, I feel like he feels like he has to distribute more often than he has to. Like he's still trying to figure out what to do and when to do it.
Of course.
So, I mean, I guess that's reasonable because it's only like the 10th game and his first time on the team. So I feel like that's going to come with time.
Yep.
But yeah, I really like that squad. Cam Reddish is good on defense, great on offense. His game is so fluent, bro. Like it's so much finesse. Like the little details in his game, it seems easy to him. And that's amazing. He's a link, he's a string bean, like everybody says, you know what I mean? So he gets in the passing lanes like no one's business, and he's a great pickup, honestly. I think he needs more. Everybody said we need Grimes to get a shot, and I think it's time for Cam Reddish to get his shot. In my opinion.
I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think I said something about that the other day with Trip. I said I'd like to see a lineup where it's either Cam or Grimes. My preference is actually Cam because of length, obviously, as we've spoken about, and because I feel like he can obviously guard. He can guard 1 through 5. Technically, he's got the athleticism to do it. He's quick enough. Maybe Grimes is a little bit more polished as a defender, but I feel like Reddish is a bit more polished as an offensive player all round. Grimes better shooter, obviously. So yeah, I like that. That's a great. The way you broke that down at the end was really good there. So now I'm gonna take those same questions to my guy who's sitting there patiently waiting to pop off. Trip, what did you feel like was the determining factor in why we were in such a hole, and what do you feel like was the determining factor or moment or lineup that got us over the line? Go ahead.
First of all, Mitchell Robinson. You don't know how to control your body. You don't know how to control your landing. At this point, I don't even think you know how to run. You understand? He can't stay out of foul trouble. He can't go a season without getting hurt. So that's number one. Number two, Evan Fournier, when he's on the floor, spacing sucks. But with him not even being there today, you can see that Tom Thibodeau, even attempting to start Grimes, already threw off the whole momentum of the game. That was a slap in the face to IQ. That's why you've seen an underperformed game from IQ, especially going into a building to where he's done everything possible that Tom wants him to do, try to elevate his game in other aspects. And instead of you at least giving him the common courtesy that if he didn't start, at least Cam started. 2 guys that actually played these games had to go through the up and down. You throw in a guy that played 1 preseason game. You understand? You see how disrespectful that is? And then you expect me to come in and perform top notch for you in this game? Sure. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I sit there and do that? So that throws everything off. Number 3, Quentin Grimes himself. He's not ready. And at this point, he's already, I don't know if y'all peeped it, but he's out. He's not even playing tonight. He's ruled out now. It went from questionable to ruled out due to his foot again. So now it's time to worry again. Like now it's time to be like, all right, I'm glad that we kept Cam Reddish. We didn't just swing him off. So now Cam can really turn up and earn that starting spot how we all figured Cam should have been. So that way I'm at the point where it's like, bro, I see a nice, good package of, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, and you get a pick because I'm not about to deal with no young guy that got a foot injury like that, bro. I've seen players time and time again that went through shit like that with their foot. We're not going through that over here. We're not doing that. So, and then it's just sad because we have so many big men, right? We have 3 centers, 2 power forwards. It's no reason why we be getting killed on the boards. That's the biggest part. And I gotta agree with Tom Thibodeau on that. Now, the good thing about this is, and the only good thing is, besides the big 3 or mid 3 or whatever the hell people want to call them, besides our guys doing what they got to do, it's funny how the 2 players that barely get minutes and got to go through the worst of it all saved Tom Thibodeau's job last night. Let's really take it there. Cam Reddish and Obi Toppin saved Tom Thibodeau from getting fired last night.
You think his job was on the line yesterday?
Bro, had we lost that game and the way we was getting cooked, he was getting fired, bro. The way Knicks Twitter would have ran it, the way the media would have saw that and ran with the story, because Bleacher already reported. Once Bleacher Report puts a stamp on the Knicks need to move on, that's hot seat time now. That's hot seat time now because majority of the people that get posted on the Bleacher Report, bro, we talk to them every day. I don't know if y'all noticed that. We talk to half of them every day.
Yeah.
So trust me when I say, when you see a report like that come up, oh, he was about to get fired if he didn't win this game. Then think about it. Why you think you got to see a lineup of Julius Randle, Obi, Cam, RJ, and Brunson? His job was on the line.
You have to pull something out the hat, and it works.
And look at that. When you put Tom under pressure, just like how when you take away his toys, he actually coaches better. When you actually put that fire under his butt, he coaches better because at the end of the day, even though he had to scramble, people went down, he still had to coach the hell out of that game. Like, this is a game he had to coach to win this game.
Yeah, well, I think we see.
Damn good job.
Sorry, I think we see. I think we see more of his intelligence in a moment like that than we do his tendencies and his habits in coaching. It becomes on the spot, and obviously he's an intelligent coach. So yeah, I think that speaks to that. You see him on the go of how he responds and reacts, as opposed to falling back into old habits that aren't working, which he's obviously prone to do.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Because the way I look at it, it's like a lot of people like to question, oh, is he a good enough coach? Does he really watch game film? In moments like this, obviously he does. You know, just to answer that question for any fan that ever feels like he don't watch game film, obviously he does, especially going down the stretch, especially that last minute in the fourth quarter. When defense came, all right, I'm going to pull either whoever he feels is lacking on defense, I'm going to pull you out. Grimes, get back in there real quick. Boom. Oh, we lacking on rebounds? All right, let me pull somebody out real quick. Ihart, get back in for defense real quick just to grab this board. After that, boom. Yo, Cam and Obi, get back in this game. Like, we got to finish down the stretch. You get what I'm saying? And then especially going in the fact you have no Mitch and now you have no Grimes, there's no reason why. And then especially we're going against, who we going against? We're going against Boston. They don't got no Al Horford. They don't got no Robert Williams. It's no reason why we don't see that same lineup start tonight.
Yeah,
and I promise you,
Williams at the 5.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect.
Oh,
so
Randall will dog him all day. We'll have a.
You think they're gonna start that lineup? You think they're gonna start that fourth quarter lineup today?
There's no legit big man right now. The only reason why I would say you start that lineup is because now you got a team that's gonna stick. Grant Williams is not fast, so we're gonna make him lose his breath. Then you got Ihart coming off the bench. What center coming off the bench to replace Grant? What center off the bench replacing Grant is gonna mess with Ihart? Let's talk about it.
All right.
No. So about Jericho.
Forget Jericho. We talking about the bench, bro.
No, I'm talking about as far as started. Bro,
I ain't worried about no Jericho Sims. I'm not worried about nobody that's important right now, bro. We still don't even know if he gonna be here long term, bro. I'm not worried about Jericho Sims. If you have not played in these 8 to 9 games, I don't want to hear your name right now. That's how real it is because shit is rocky over here. We need to get some establishment on the Knicks. So we don't want to talk about no players that barely get a burn. We might see him go off. And if we do, well, damn, times are ticking on you, Mitch, because they just put out a report. Your ass ain't coming back for a week. So we ain't got no Mitch for a week. It went from sore knee to now he out for a week. Regular Mitchell Robinson shit. Like, you feel me? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see him go, none of that. Like, I want my boy to bounce back and come back better than ever. I want to see him get that defensive player of the year. Like, I want to see it. But when this shit happens, it's like, he just killed that whole vibe for me because now it's like, here you go. Another motherfucking season of this. And I know y'all like, damn, Trippy, you going in today. I'm just tired of seeing that shit from Mitch, bro, because it's like, damn, bro, like every year, nigga.
I think everybody's tired.
Yeah, I think everyone's tired. So
every year, bro, like
8 games, bro. 8 games in and you're already going down.
Yeah, it's
don't get me wrong. The injury was not his fault. So let's go ahead and let that be known.
Yeah,
it wasn't those cases. It was like really like somebody bumped into him. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, but other than that, that's my takes on it. Like, man, look, all I know is we need to run that small ball lineup, and even if we don't, Cam better start out the gate.
All right, so that leads us into our next part anyway. So that sort of segues into what we're going into. Trip going in a little bit early. Knowing I'm in the future, he wanted to get ahead of me this time.
Yeah, had to, man. Yeah.
So then it leads us into our next question. So obviously now we know what we saw yesterday. We've more or less collectively agreed on what the difference was or what the reason was we're in the hole. So the next question is, and I'm gonna start with Ariel on this one, is going into this game today, what do you hope to see out the gate? What do you think we'll see out the gate? And what do we need to attack and try and expose to win this game?
I think like what was said previously, man. I think we got to see, even if it doesn't start it, I want to see Cam start. I'm with Trippy on that. I want them first off to come out the gate. Please contest, make an attempt to contest the three. You cannot leave Jaylen Brown. You cannot Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown dictate this game. Because this is a team that even if you leave Marcus Smart, I guarantee you, we leave Marcus Smart open, he can't shoot threes worth his life. He's becoming a little respectable now, but he cooks us for some reason. Every time we leave Marcus Smart open, he's like a knockdown Steph Curry when it comes down to shooting threes. So we definitely got to negate that three-point shit right off the rip. Another thing I want to see is I want to see Julius attacking more, even though to me, 4 threes is not a lot, but still it's for him. I don't feel like, he needs to be shooting 4 threes a game. That's not his game. I like it with Julius when he's attacking, making quick decisions, not trying to be LeBron James out there and be the point forward. I don't want to see that. I want to see Cam go off this game. I want to see him guarding Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I want to see quickly step up, have a bounce back game, because to me, like you said, it must have been messing with him, because I think Trippy got a point with that. Bounce back, man, and just come out the gate strong, man, right off that bench with that second unit. And I want to see Obi have another good game. And just follow up. I want to see Obi, Cam, and Quigley have a good game. Those are my 3 main guys I'm gonna look for. And we got to dominate them down low, because they don't have a center. They're looking real thin at that 5 spot. So I think we need to take advantage of that. And I think we need to run more plays for Cam this game. Figure out a way to run more plays for him on offense, because I don't like Cam when he's just standing in the corner. That's not his game. He's a guy that he can create his own shot. You can let him get it. I want Jalen Brunson to have a good game too. Come out the gate in the first half.
All right, wait, hold up. Stop it. Breaking news. Cam Reddish is starting at the 2. It's Brunson, it's Cam, it's RJ, it's Randall, and we got Iheart at the 5, baby.
I didn't
Stop
get the
playing
report.
with him.
Wait, what was that? Wait. Read that out again.
You said at the 5?
Read that out again.
Iheart at the 5. We got.
Okay.
Did I not predict this lineup?
Okay.
Did I not predict this lineup in the chat? I think
That's because you're in the future. You're cheating, bro. I'm over here on my side, and you can't do that no more, bro. I don't like this, man. You cheating, bro. You cheating.
Anyway, you heard it here first. Trippy just popped up with that one. Let's go. Let's actually take that and let's talk about that now. So now we know the lineup. So just so you know, guys, at time of recording, when we started this, we didn't have the lineup. We're about half an hour out from tip out, maybe 45 from tip off against the Celtics. So this is recorded before the Knicks game against the Celtics on the second night of the back-to-back. I believe it's the 5th of November over there in the US. It's the 6th here, as you know, I'm in the future. So go ahead, man. Take that news, Ariel, and keep going with what you're going. Now that you know that, maybe add that into what you were saying.
Listen, man, it's Cam hog time, man. This is Cam. This is the Cam show tonight, man.
And I said it too. I said he needs a shot. That's crazy.
Nah,
yeah,
I think we all said that.
Man.
Let me go next, y'all. Let me go next. Nah, I gotta get my take now. I'm hyped. I gotta get my take, bro. Let me get my journal.
Yeah, bro.
All right, look. So this is what it is. Tonight, off the rip, now that I know that Cam and RJ is starting together, it's game time. It's Cam and RJ versus Brown and Tatum. What I've been waiting for. Ooh. RJ said, you know what, Boston? I packed y'all away and I gave y'all the glory. Now I'm coming back with my soldier and we got to kill y'all again. We about to show y'all the real dynamic duo. It's turn up time. I'm going to let you know right now, for all the people that say, oh, I want Julius Randle off this team. If you want him off this team that badly, you're going to want these two to go ham tonight. You're going to want these two to go crazy. This is what I've been waiting for. This was the perfect time to let Cam Reddish start. Number one, he did horrible against the team that he wanted a trade request from. He was clutch city and came up to where he had Gilly and Wallow wearing custom Knick jerseys at the end of a Philly game and helped get a dub in his hometown. Now he comes back to the city the game after to start to go against two of the top guys. And you know damn well RJ and Reddish are guarding Brown and Tatum. This is about to be the game of the ages. I don't care about no other matchups. I'm only watching the game for that. I'm being honest. That's my take. I'm done. That's it. Bye-bye.
There we go. So as you can tell, guys, it's lit here at the moment. Again, just tapping on it. We've just found out Cam Reddish is starting after obviously closing out the game and helping us get a tough win on the road yesterday in Philadelphia. Our boy Trippy over here doing a little jig, getting his emote on. Now we heard from Ariel.
We got
Ariel.
to put Killer Cam in that camera on Mink, man.
There we go. We heard from Ariel. He got to actually jump in and finish off his take with it. Now you've got to sit on a little bit, boys, down there, LJ and Stevie. You got a little bit of a chance after hearing those two to talk. What now? As I'll pose the same question, what do you think you'd like to see? What do you think that has that already happened in hearing Cam starting and going forward into this game? What do you think are going to be the keys to beating them? What do we need to shut down, expose now that we obviously know Cam's going to be in there? And as Tripp said, it's likely going to be a RJ and a RJ v and Cam v Tatum and Brown. So I don't want to give you too much information, but just go in with your Celtics take, what you want to see, what you think we need to expose, and how it looks now with Cam.
Hold up, before y'all go.
As far as Cam goes, it's going to be interesting to see how you perform.
Hold up. Before y'all go, for all the viewers out there, I'm not saying get rid of Randall because y'all about to run with that. I know y'all. Y'all about to run with that whole, if y'all want Randall, I didn't say that. I said that's what y'all want. I didn't say that. All right? Go ahead, Knicks Anonymous. I just had to make sure I cleared that up real quick because y'all ain't going to spin this on me. All right?
I mean, as far as Cam goes, it's going to be interesting to see him perform, man, because at this point, it's his job to lose. He could potentially keep this and never lose it. So, like, now's his chance. Like, if he didn't have a chance before, like, this is it. I'm not saying, like, if he fails, like, he's done and there's no chance for him and there's no hope. But now's his time to shine. Now, like, it's his chance to say, all right, this is what I got, y'all.
It's exam day.
Yes, exactly. Overall, though, as far as the team goes, I want to see us hit our free throws at a better rate. That's going to dictate. That seems to dictate a lot of our games, dude. We got to hit our free throws, man. Our defense is pretty good. At times, we move the ball well. And we tend to show up against the Celtics, not for nothing. We tend to. Win or lose, we always show up against the Celtics. So, in my opinion, free throws is a key. Free throws is a big key. So, basically, I want to see us hit our free throws and not miss them.
I'm honestly just looking for more efficiency in the offense. I think we could, with the weapons that we have, and honestly, they're, as we, Tibbs is making the adjustment to actually provide that. So Cam, I think, is a very good fit for a more efficient offense. He brings a lot to the table with his height and his skill set. He's very good on the dribble. He's a very good shot creator. He gets to the rim and he's able to go pretty much up against centers because of his height and his length. I think he's gonna help. I think he's gonna help this offense immensely. So I honestly I'm more curious to see what the offense is gonna look like. But that would probably be my take on what I want to see fixed. Is I want to see Brunson to come back because sometimes he needs to figure out his lane. Kind of, he needs to know when to score. Because sometimes I want him to score. Sometimes there's times I want him to keep the ball and just dominate. Because but then he'll just give it away to somebody who's not. So I think he needs to focus more on his role a little bit instead of trying to, but I do appreciate the fact that he's trying to be a true point guard. I do appreciate that. But I think, he needs to be able to go off because I feel like that's also why we got him with his ability to score at will. In terms of who else, I actually want to see a good game for Randall. Randall, I think he would definitely take.
I think he has a double-double today. I'm supposed to cut you off. I think he has a double-double today.
No, especially with the no center thing with Boston, I think he would definitely take advantage. I feel like this is his game to actually prove, if you don't have somebody that's taller than me on your team, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? And that's great. So yeah, that's my take on it. I think this game is going to be extremely close.
For sure. I think there's a lot of similar sentiment. A lot of stuff that's been said by everyone there that what we expect to see tonight, and maybe some areas we could win. I agree. I'm in total agreement. Before we wrap this up, I'm just going to give my touch on this. I'm in total agreement. I think Randall should push the envelope here against what he's probably going to match up against Grant Williams, right? Something like that. I think he should try and really play a game tonight that suits his style. Stay off that 3-point line. We've got Cam out there now. I think he's going to benefit from having Cam there. So if there's switches created where he's put on to Jason Tatum, it won't matter who Cam gets put on because Cam's going to do well. They're probably not going to want to switch. Let's be honest. They're probably going to want to keep. Players in rotations as they are. So it's going to be interesting. I think what we need to attack too is as you said about Brunson, I think Brunson needs to be a bit more aggressive offensively tonight. Stop dribbling the ball as much. Maybe a bit more north-south sort of attack as an offensive player. And I think the game should come to him. I'd like to see RJ really take the opportunity with Cam here and take that Duke brotherhood to another level and see what they can do together for the first time as starters since he arrived, and maybe build some chemistry and show. Ultimately, I'd like them to show Tibbs and the team of this is a starting lineup that could stay, bar maybe putting in a Mitch over obviously Isaiah Hartenstein, because obviously he's getting the start tonight, so or something like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm very much looking forward to the duos going at it of Brown and Tatum v Cam and RJ. Obviously, they're much more talented, but these guys are raw. What we've got, we're still not sure about RJ, and Cam was touted as one of a top 10 prospect coming out of high school. So he was unreal in high school. So man, maybe it's his time to shine. So if anyone has any more closing takes, anything else you want to get out just before we go into this Celtic game, for me, all I got to say is,
go Cam.
W.
I'm going to say this is not PG, but I'm going to say fuck Boston.
Fuck Boston. But look, man. One thing, y'all, we got that one matchup that I'm looking out for too. I want to see how IQ going to go against Malcolm Brogdon. Let's not forget about his ball.
Yeah, that's now. True. That's true.
He's a sleeper, y'all. Don't forget about that. So let's go to see. Let's see they sleeper versus our sleeper. This whole game is a legit test, and I can't wait.
Yeah, man. I'd like to actually see, speaking on that just before we close up, maybe Ariel, you might want to have something to say after this, but one other thing me and Ariel spoke about before you all jumped in and before we started actually recording this is I want to see some continuity of minutes off the bench. We have continuity in starters. We never have continuity in minutes off the bench. So I'd like to see sort of like a decent run for someone like an IQ, not a typical Tibbs or like a Popovich type where you don't get the chance to play through your mistakes. So give whoever is ball and minutes tonight, and give maybe Obi. I'd like to see Obi and IQ get a good run off the bench. If not IQ, then Derrick Rose, because he's trying to come back, man. He's trying to come back, but it's weird. Not even Tibbs wants to give his guy a go. So that's what I'd like to see. On top of everything else.
Yeah, piggyback off that, man.
Plan, man. Honestly, I'm excited.
That continuity and no template minutes from Tibbs. I'm tired of that. All right, your 10 minutes is up. All right, you do the come back in, you come back in. I got to stop, man. As a coach, man, you got to have a feel for the game. Basketball is a game of runs. So if you see your guy, you got to get second unit out there and they cooking and they play they foot on the gas pedal and they putting in their necks, leave them in there. Just let them keep going. Give them a couple of additional 5 more minutes, 4 more minutes, because that could be the difference between a W and an L, man. And that's why we lost that Hawks game. Because he failed to do that.
As Kobe says, rest at the end, not in the middle. So rest in peace to Kobe. You want to rest at the end, not in the middle, Tibbs. So I think I'm gonna sign off with that. It's been lit. It's been another great episode of Past, Present, Future. Obviously, you might have noticed I'm hosting it now. Trippy's put it on to me. I'm glad to have taken this. This is going to get me a little bit more exposure, but most of all, it gives us all a chance to keep doing this show that we love. We're probably going to have some guests and some new part-time co-hosts pop up from time to time. So look out for that. This has been another great episode. So go follow my guy Ariel, Retro Gold School on Twitter. Go follow Nick's Anonymous, LJ and Stevie. They're out there doing their thing. And of course, follow VSN, anything VSN related. The Open Three is coming soon. It's an Australian-based podcast. We've got a lot of special guests. And, of course, my guy who made this all possible, Trippy OG. Go follow Nick at 30 and anything that he's related with. So we appreciate everyone that tunes in. We've got more content coming for you soon. Peace.
Go Knicks.
I'll at y'all, man.